the best episodic television that I ever saw in the sci-fi genre was on Amazon. It was The Expanse.
What was that?
Amazon.
No, the show.
The Expanse.
I'm not hearing it right. I swear you were saying Quantum Leap.
Okay. All right.
Did you say Quantum Leap?
All right. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I thought you said Quantum Leap. I'm sorry.
Listen. Nobody knows more than I do about Leap. Okay? Don't even go there.
I can't compete with you.
Bro. So here we are once again.
Episode 3, numero 3.
Episode 3 of the podcast.
Film Insiders Podcast.
Yeah. I almost forgot the name of it for a second. So
That's what I'm here for, boss.
yeah, boss. All right. I like the sound of that.
Boss, hoss, whatever.
Just keep it coming. Keep
we
it. Anyway. So how you been?
Doing great, man.
Yeah.
Loving doing the show, having fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool just being here and connecting with you and telling stories to the people online. So let's just keep the magic rolling, yeah?
So introduce yourself.
I am Samuel Hahn. I'm a film director, producer, writer. I'm a dad, a veteran, and I'm a common little Odic.
Well, what?
Little Otik.
Little Otik.
Little Otik.
What's that?
O-T-I-K, I think. I always mess his name up. He was a stop frame animation director, filmmaker. Schwenkmeyer. There's like this new movie coming out in the inspiration of like his style.
Okay.
But Adam Jones from Tool, like all the Tool music videos,
Yeah.
was because he was heavily inspired from this guy.
I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you.
So it's just real creepy, dark, stop frame. It's cool as can be, man.
Okay. Awesome.
But Little Otik is a feature film though, and it was a long time ago that I watched it. So it's been a hot minute. But I just remember it was like this couple, these like want to be, to be parents, and they find like a log, like a part of a tree, but it's alive, and it's like eats the cat, and like it's like little potato. It's weird, man, but it
Sounds very Eastern European.
very much a little Otik. It's worthwhile. I'm gonna watch it again just because it's probably been 12, 15 years at least.
Okay.
Since I've seen it. I watched it like early in my days because early on in my career wise because like I'm a huge Tool fan and I love the music videos, and I tried it a few times to do stop frame, and it's a lot of patience.
I would say you're not the only Tool fan.
Yeah.
We have many Tool fans.
Love Tool.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Maynard, man.
I like
What about
Tool.
you? Introduce yourself, sir.
I am Glenn Pena. I am a veteran as well. I'm a dad of 3 wonderful children who no longer live in my house, which is actually kind of nice sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I'm a sometime actor. Used to work in the film business years ago, and now I'm a movie lover, television lover. Love talking about this stuff, so that's why I'm here.
For the record, you're a fantastic actor.
Oh,
We worked together on Wars, and I enjoyed it, man. I mean, you're one of those guys that when you're on the set, you already know the game,
Yeah.
and you very much like took into your role.
right.
So for me, and for that one, playing camera operator, cinematographer,
Let's just say
it was a breeze.
cinematographer.
It was a breeze having you on set.
I appreciate it, man.
You say sometime. I'm just saying, Clint's pretty good at what he does.
I appreciate it. I really
You got
appreciate
to throw
it.
the bones down on that.
You know, it's funny because I remember that was a pretty easy day. It wasn't that bad from what I experienced.
We're out of Capernaum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Capernaum Studios outside of Weatherford.
Yeah, you know, the thing that really excited me about the scene that we shot that I was in Warhorse 1 was it was in this, okay, I'm a big fan of the television show about Jesus, The Chosen.
Mm-hmm. They did episode 1 out there, or not episode, season 1 out there, and parts of season 2, I think.
I think they shot a lot of it out
I
there.
know they did season 1. Oh, I worked out there for a short stint.
Oh, yeah.
About
no
a year.
kidding.
I was on their staff. So
Wow. Well, yeah. So, but the cool thing to me was I realized as we were about to shoot that this little hut house that we were in was the house where they shot the scene where Jesus, when Jesus is in the house with the people and like there's people that try to drop somebody who needs medical help through the roof, right?
Answer me.
If you are willing, Rabbi, you know you can.
Hey, I'm talking to you. By whom do you teach? Certainly not the authority of any rabbi from Nazareth. Where did you study?
Your faith is beautiful.
And that scene happened in the same little building we were in. So I saw it, I looked up and I saw the hole in the roof and I was like, oh, I know where I am right now.
which is fun because I was out there for Washington's Armor, and you know that's their studio and their film on that. But like, I remember filming a scene out there where we had to like rig the jib up on that rooftop and shoot through that hole of the same room. So
No way.
We were out there with Warhorse for us, and then I came back like I don't know, half a year later or whatever it was, maybe less, and then working on that crew with Kelly Rimenschneider as my director of photography. So.
I mean, that just goes to show how amazing a good studio can be. You know, when they set up a space that is so usable for whatever time period, whatever is happening, there's a way to use that. For
They
what
have great sets out there.
They really do. They also have really good makeup people. They have good. I mean, they do a great job out there at Capernaum.
And super friendly too. Got a lot of friends.
Yeah, I
When I say staff, I didn't mean staff for Chosen. I was staff for Capernaum after Warhorse.
Oh, got you. I had no idea. I didn't even know.
Worked there for about a year until Wicked Season took on, and then I had to go in a different direction from them because I was going to direct a feature film for the first. So
Right. Yeah. So so we're going to talk about a news item right now, right? Carl Weathers died this past week.
So many people talking about this. Of course, we are celebrating the life of actor Carl Weathers, whose death was revealed yesterday. He built a career on his iconic role, of course, of Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, but it all started with a stint in pro football.
It was tough news.
like it happens. I mean, it's part of life, right?
Yeah.
But there's just certain figures that when that happens, it's just a little piece of you leaves because Carl Weathers is one of them. I mean, how many characters did he embody in our childhood, the films that we had watched that were so important to us? And then when, that happens, I don't know, we all kind of feel the loss on that. So,
yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't see Rocky until later in life, like till I was in my teens. I didn't see Rocky. And so that was his first breakout role, right? Apollo Creed, who could forget that character?
you can't have Rocky without it.
See, we're born with a killer instinct that you can't just turn off and on like some radio. We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion. So I'm asking you, as a friend, stand by my side this one last time.
When I really saw him was in the movie Force 10 from Navarone.
Which you brought up tonight, and I
Yeah.
have to watch that. Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I was making a joke about the whole Suicide Squad. But it's the same trope aspect of the ragtag, and then they go on that suicide mission, basically. But,
Yeah.
but far better because I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to give it away.
I have nothing for that one.
I'm not going to give it away for you because
No, I want to watch it. I mean,
you haven't
usually I'll
seen it.
like go ahead and tell me everything because I study films. But yeah, that one I do want to enjoy.
You know, I say the same thing, but it still annoys me when I know everything because I want to watch it. You know, but
But
I
have a hell of a career though.
yeah, he did. He had a very varied career, and what was cool about watching Carl Weathers was, he was not somebody you would think was suited for acting. Like, meaning, he started out as a pro athlete, right?
A linebacker, in which I think his last spot was the Oakland Raiders, but he had suffered some injuries. Like there was something with his ankle, I believe, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'm more into the movie side, but from what I kind of gleaned from it, you know, Madden, upon him being cut from the Raiders, he was just like, "You're too sensitive." And Weathers, like in interviews, was just like, you know, they kind of cut deep, man. They put like a little chip on my shoulder. But growing up in post World War II New Orleans, like he ran with some bad crowds, but he would say the fact that even though he was with those kind of people, he never felt like he belonged. And that there was this other side of him deep inside that he was trying to understand who that was and what that was. So the linebacker part of him, that was the tough part. That was this, you know. But then, you know, once he gets past that and that career's over, here he is in the film and the sensitive side opens up, which that man in comedy, all action aside, which some of like my favorite films, dude, from Predator, obviously Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4, where Apollo's like a shining star, and it was the comedy, I think, that I really enjoyed with him, like Arrested Development, to Happy Gilmore, the little bit in Little Nicky. So
yeah, he was he? Wait a minute, you said 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think he was in Rocky 4, was he?
Yes,
Didn't he?
You did not.
His character didn't. His,
oh no! Living in America, man. James Brown.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. I just don't remember. I thought, didn't he die though in the Rocky movies at some point?
In 4, because
Ivan Drago was who killed him.
Ivan Drago.
Oh, see, I was thinking Clubber Lang killed him, but then I don't. My memory's fuzzy. So
Clubber Lang's in Rocky 3. I mean, I love my right. Dude,
that's what I mean.
I'm an ex-boxer.
I was thinking he might have died in Rocky 3, but I don't.
Okay. Confession.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Ever since I started boxing at probably age of 15, I would start training Golden Gloves and all that. What is the soundtrack that is playing on my Walkman back in the day?
Dude.
Any compilation of Rocky. To this day, if I went jogging tomorrow, what do you think I'm pulling up on my Spotify?
Well, which soundtrack?
It's a compilation of all the great ones.
I mean, Rocky 4 was the best soundtrack by far.
True, and then mine also plays in a lot of Creed as well, because I do like the Creed films.
Oh yeah, of course.
But oh man, I think the heaviest on that playlist is probably Rocky 4 with Ivan Drago. Hearts on Fire, No Easy Way Out.
That No Easy Way Out was the first thing I thought of. But you know, that scene in Rocky 4 when they come up for the handshake and Drago looks at him and he goes, "I must break you.
I will break you."
It's like,
dude, it's glorious. So obviously Rocky 1, breakout role. He's amazing. He's kind of like that Muhammad Ali character. 2, he's coming back for revenge on it because even though he won, like the public is like, Rocky won. But then 3 was magic because in my opinion, and there's going to be people that hate me for this, and I am so sorry ahead of time because I had a Mick in my life, like my old boxing coach, Mike Campbell. He was my Mick. In fact, even when I was still trying to fight, my late 30s, going on to early 40s before he passed, he was like the same age as Mick. But Apollo Creed was the better coach.
Oh yeah,
hands down.
are you kidding? He never would have won that fight without Apollo Creed.
Did he teach him footwork and dexterity? And it's like, here's an agility ladder, Rock. He taught about it. That the block. I'm not cutting words out because I'm trying not to to swear. But he taught him how to put his hands up, for God's sakes. Like stop being like
defend yourself, dummy.
Like the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Like
right.
boom, 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 boom. So, and then Clubber Lang and Mr. T and it's glorious, dude.
Yeah, that was during an era of filmmaking that was, to me, I'm just nostalgic about it. You know, I mean, because those movies were just so great, and there's back then, you know, again, you could only go to the theater if you wanted to see a movie,
Right. And I think a lot of times too, they try to like bridge gaps in society, like with the first Rocky films, like him coming up through poverty to that. And 3, racial divisions being squashed down to like, let's work together, to Rocky 4, when it's like, and if I can change and you can change, we all can change, you know, post Cold War kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, but I really appreciated Carl Weathers in those movies. And I mean, who could forget Happy Gilmore?
Mm-hmm. But let's go back. My dad, I remember him saying at times, and it was like a little side note because me as a kid didn't understand what he was talking about. But I'm like, hey, can we go do that? Like, sure, hop in the truck, Action Jackson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is Action Jackson? And dude, so that was after Rocky, that was after Predator. Mm-hmm. And then here's Action Jackson.
Oh, Predator. Oh my gosh. We haven't
bridged that gap.
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
But, you know, films like that with Denise Matthews, otherwise known as Vanity, which is a whole story in herself. Dude. Like, I had a massive...
I know. You're in love with her. I know.
I will always be in love with Denise Matthews because she actually denounced the name Vanity. And I didn't know that.
Really?
In 92, she was on some set, and I forgot the guy's name. He asked her to, like, sit down on a break and read the Bible with him. And that brought her to faith. And so 94, between 92 to 94, she's in the hospital and things are going bad for her for like the lifestyle from the 80s. Mm-hmm. And she says she had saw a vision of Jesus and that if she hung up her life from the 80s and the drug addictions and all that,
right,
then, and she devoted the next 20 years of her life to the good side.
No way. I did not know any of that.
She was burning. They said that she was like throwing stuff through the chute down to the incinerator. And a friend had to stop her because she was burning a gold record. Here's a hand-painted tape that Prince had made for her with like unreleased songs.
Wow.
Anyway, Vanity, Denise Matthews.
Wow. I had no idea,
but
man.
Action Jackson, dude, she is in that. I'm going to rewatch it just because I know I had seen it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But, you know, kind of like Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. It's just one of those classics with Vanity that you have to go back to.
You're like an OG fan.
Absolutely, dude.
Okay. All right.
She was a beauty, man.
Cool. Well, so, but yeah, you know, we're going to miss Carl Weathers, I guess is the bottom line. But let's not forget, he also was a director, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of TV series.
He directed TV episodes. He directed some episodes of The Mandalorian, right?
Right before the end of it all.
I mean, that's crazy. When you told me that, I was just like,
I didn't know that until like just doing the research on him. I didn't realize he was that active besides just being an actor and all that. So
very cool. I mean, you know, it just goes to show you like there are people out there that you're going to know who have had a whole career, much of which you may know nothing about until you pay attention. Right. And I'm glad we are paying attention because he's worthy of that. But
Predator.
Yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. And they put their arms together and it's like the 80s bicep shot.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is one of those things as I've gotten older. You know, I got to start getting used to this idea that, you know, my heroes from movies and TV are going to leave us. You know, that's, you know, part of the deal. So, so speaking of TV, I was just mentioning he directed television and stuff. I think we wanted to talk about TV tonight.
Sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah. So
I think you're the bigger TV fan than I am. I'm more of like a movie guy.
Yeah.
And I'm always like notoriously late for jumping on a series.
Well, that's okay because you know what happens is you can rely on people who you're friends with to tell you, hey, this is good. You should watch it.
It was almost a decade before I got into Game of Thrones.
Wow.
And a girl that I was dating was like, you should really watch this. So
I'll be honest with you about Game of Thrones. I started watching Game of Thrones. I watched the first 2 episodes and I stopped watching Game of Thrones. Because I don't know if you remember how that show starts, but like the first 2 episodes, by the end of episode 2, you're like, you got to make a decision.
Are you really in for this? Because they're going to go anywhere they want to.
Yeah. Like, okay. You know, I'm not going to give anything away, but
there's fun though.
There's some controversial things happening.
Extremely controversial, but I enjoy the series.
And look, I'm just going to assume everybody watching has seen Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones and there's spoilers, there are spoilers.
Dude,
you might want to fast forward a little bit.
There's been some time in between.
Right. So, but I mean, when I'm not going to remember everybody's names.
I can't do that.
But when the Dragon Queen, when she is, what's her name?
Daenerys.
When Daenerys is flying the dragon.
Even though I pulled that right out of the file.
See, I've tested you. No, but when Daenerys is flying the dragon.
Targaryen.
Yeah. God dang. Okay. When Daenerys is flying the dragon and she comes up and she's torching the city in front of Cersei.
Badass scene.
Is it Cersei, right?
Cersei, yeah.
The thing that bothered me about that was I was like, dude, she wanted to kill her, right?
Yeah.
Cersei's standing there plain as day on the balcony, and I'm like, just fly the freaking dragon up and torch her right
Just get
there.
it done.
Yeah, but she doesn't do that.
She can't.
And Cersei starts to get away.
Because we need more episodes.
Well, I don't know, but I was mad. I was like, what are you doing?
Because then, like, okay.
I know she wanted her to watch her destroy her.
But if you end the character like that, you have to have the proper buildup to that character, like starting from the episode to say, hey, this is the highlight episode. Now, versus how this, spoiler alerts. Like, can we do that? I mean, come on. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones at this point, you are more messed up than me.
All right, look. It
took years to watch the final episode of Breaking Bad for me. Like, I could not see what happened to Walt.
Oh, you missed out though.
Well, I finally saw it, but it took years to do that. So if you have not seen Game of Thrones, that's not my fault. That's not my problem.
So what I will say is, if you haven't seen it, okay, pause this. Go watch the entire, just binge Game of Thrones to the end, and then come back. All right, go ahead. So what were you going to say?
That's all I have.
We had spoilers.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you said you did.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. So then would we have had that moment, that build up with them and when they're in the catacombs and they're crushed?
Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Only us.
Yeah.
So
it's like, that was a good ending.
How you like that?
Oh, that was.
Yeah, I know, but it's sudden. It's like, did they have
satisfying?
But that plays into when you have so many characters and you're hitting it like they did in that final season, you're just killing them off left and right. So,
I mean, to be fair, they killed characters all over the place, but
well, they did, but I think they breathed a little bit on it. Like they paced it properly until like the final bit where they're like, okay, we're running out of time. So
right.
Here's the Hangman's news coming for everybody.
Okay. So we've gotten into a Game of Thrones trap. We need to back away.
Is it a trap though?
We need to step back.
It's a wonderful series, but
it is.
Okay. So thinking about that though, there's a difference in like, go back to TV, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at that's the version of TV where it's the miniseries approach, which is the long form structure to a story that plays out, which is that overarching, right? Which I think of it like a 8 act structure screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
Every act's got obstacles, goals, obstacles happen, things, conflict, and then resets. And that's why there's episodes of like an 8 count per season, kind of like with The Walking Dead.
So speaking of all that, like, what are you watching now? What are you watching right now? Anything?
I'm so bad about that, dude. I mean, I want to be more active in that, but usually if I'm not writing, like the next script, like right now, I'm actively working on Mirror, which is a fun one to me. Like, I had that one in a dream film that I want to write. But typically, once I kind of turn off and I just want to watch something to study, I lean to the film side. And it's just the way I am. I mean, I can.
So, but the big thing about TV now on streamers, anyway,
It's long form film.
It is. It's like a 6-hour, or 10-hour movie, right? A lot of these are.
My guilty pleasure is I just binged the hell out of Reacher season 2.
Okay.
I love the Reacher series. And I'm more of a fan of season 1 than season 2, just because I think season 1 had a little more flavor to it. And then season 2, he like beefed up and put on an extra 100 pounds of muscle.
I don't know. He was already big, wasn't
like
he?
a gorilla, dude. There's a scene where
giant.
he's chasing the helicopter and watching him run.
It looks like he's going to grab it and pull it down.
I was expecting it because when it happened and he's running, I'm like, oh my God. He's like a mountain moving. But a hell of an actor, though. Like, I would like to work with him one day, and I know I will. So
yeah, I mean, he's fantastic, and I do love that show. I did watch it. I watched it the day it came out, and I watched every episode. That was actually this is weird, just a random thing, but I started watching that show on my VR goggles.
That's a thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Amazon.
What is that like?
You can watch Amazon Prime on VR.
So you're like, there's no.
It's like you're in a movie theater. So basically you can sit on your couch.
Are you seeing like the screen? And like,
yeah. You put on your couch.
Is it like the usher that walks down or like little assholes with their phones
nothing
out
like
talking?
that. Yeah. No, I don't think they have a realism mode like that.
They need it.
But
and the little kid crying.
Yeah. No.
Like, shut up.
Please. No, that's the whole point. It's perfect. No, but I was sitting on my couch. I put on my VR headset. I was playing a VR game anyway. And then when I finished, I sort of sat down and I thought, I wonder if I could watch a movie or TV show on here. And I went and got on Amazon VR. And sure enough, I could watch Reacher. And it comes up on a big screen. And it looks literally like you're in a room with a big screen in front of you. I mean, I could make the screen as big as I wanted.
Okay, that's cool.
It was awesome.
And nobody with their phones up. And
No.
that should be a plug-in or like an add-on extension. Like, here's like the most annoying. And then you have to get into like, you have to go to the bathroom and there's concessions.
No.
Like, why not, right?
No.
You get mugged on the way to the parking lot after the show.
So the cool thing about the MetaQuest is once you set the screen where it is, it stays rock steady. So when you get up and move around the room, right? When you move out of the zone you're in, the protected zone or whatever, the VR zone, it goes back and everything besides the screen is the room you're in. So you can see where you're going. You can
That's
see.
pretty groovy.
And so if you had to go to the bathroom, I suppose you could keep your VR headset on.
But it would be cool if like you left the room and like you're wandering down like the theater hallway and there's the bathroom and like the little like urinal cake.
No, it would not be cool.
That would be fun.
That would not be cool. No. What do you mean it would be cool?
And then you could add like little adventures in
You need to
between.
make a game called Theater Simulator?
Yeah, why not? And then like you got to deal with like different like here's like the stoner in the hallway like, hey man, like where am I going? And the other guy's like, where's your ticket at? I'm like, leave me be. I'm just here for Reacher.
Well, one thing you could do is have the concession stand serve things that you always wanted, but you know you're never going to get. Like, you could get kebabs.
But you see how cool this is? Like you are now slowly joining my side of this argument.
No, I'm just being facetious.
Like we have barbecue back here. You want some barbecue?
How about some brisket? Oh man, I don't even know why I brought the VR thing up, but yeah.
Here's some Soylent Green.
So yeah. So what I've been watching, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I watch everything. I really do. That I'll be giving info on this channel later.
Well, you're like the streaming channel champion.
Yeah.
Like the last episode we talked about, like you look through a lot of them, and like you just a bigger library than I on that
right.
one. But like,
I mean, it's like a hobby for me, right? So like
what I should be doing as a director,
right? Learning from all genres. But yeah. So I pretty much I have every service. The only one I don't have is I got Peacock because of that damn NFL game that was only on Peacock, the playoff game. But I have basically every service except for Peacock. And to be honest, I just got Peacock and I don't really watch it, but Peacock doesn't really have, I haven't seen any Peacock originals that I was like, oh, I got to watch this.
But you were telling me, and again, I mean, every channel, they offer different things, and it is for some people, it's not for some people. I get that. Like we all have our likes, or we all have our dislikes. Some works for some doesn't work for some. But you were talking about a show, Invasion?
God.
I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't
You're such a
seen
dick,
it.
man. You had to bring up Invasion.
I have to. Because, like, no, but what you
Okay,
said.
well, so okay, to be honest, shows that we're watching, which was our topic, right? That is a show the latest
and we can
show,
totally retreat into some of the stuff that I like Breaking Bad and Walking Dead.
That is the latest show that I've been watching, and it is maybe the worst show I've ever seen.
Tell me about your feelings.
Oh man!
Like, why is it the
Don't
worst?
get me started. It was so bad.
I haven't seen it. Disclaimer.
It was so bad.
The world wants to test us. To see if it can break us.
Help me! Please!
Not today.
This bitter
Okay, so
Well, what bugged you about it?
all right, so it's an alien invasion movie, right?
That's a good one.
It's set on Earth.
Okay.
Pretty cool start, like kind of a slow burn.
Modern day,
Yeah, modern day.
futuristic, or like now, or
Like now.
okay.
And it's like a slow burn happening where something weird's going on, and you see some vignettes of different stories from different people. There's one where there's a military unit that directly encounters an alien force, and then there's a small town in Midwest where there's something weird going on. People are starting to come up missing, and nobody understands what's going on.
What do you? Before we get into the nitty gritty of what we talked about, what's something though that you enjoyed about it?
The acting. The actors were great. The very competent actors. I mean, Sam Neill's in it. In the beginning.
Event Horizon.
I mean, his character dies like.
But Event Horizon, though, right?
Was he in that? I don't remember. I mean, how about Jurassic Park?
That's Sam Neill. Right.
Yeah.
I am so bad with names. I'm sorry, Sam Neill. I know my faces, but like Event Horizon with him, incredible badass horror film. That and Lawrence Fishburne. So.
Oh, I know that. You know what? Okay.
The spaceship
Never
goes
mind.
into
I just
hell.
went bing. Yeah,
Spaceship
I
goes
know
into
that
hell.
movie now. Yeah,
Badass film. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, good movie. But that was like back in the Blockbuster days. Yeah.
When I was working at Blockbuster.
Okay.
My first job.
Yeah, but anyway, so Invasion is just, there's a slow burn. You think, oh, this is going to be good, right? And then they reveal the aliens, and there's nothing compelling about them at all. It's not even interesting. It's just kind of annoying.
Really?
Because you don't know why they're there. You don't know anything about them other than what they're doing to the humans, right? And then you know that these humans have some sort of, by the way, spoilers. I would recommend you do not watch this, but if you do, spoilers.
He told me that. That was like a personal commandment. Like, thou shalt not watch this show.
All right, listen. Have you ever watched a TV show where at the end of the show you start cursing the people who made the show, and you're like, you're just angry because why? Why did you waste my time? Yeah. Okay, so now you know.
And Glenn feels this from his soul.
Deep down in my loins.
Deep down in my bottle right here. I'm feeling it. Okay.
No, but anyway, the point is,
okay, go
like
ahead.
if there's a bad guy in a show, right, like that, I want to at least be able to sort of be like, oh, you know, and have a feeling about that, right? But it was so damn confusing. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Was there too much stuff going on? And I'm coming to this from the perspective of I have not seen it. So I'm like a baby's eyes on, I have no idea.
No, I think it's more like it was hard to understand. Like
were they staying too vague?
Yes, very, very vague. Like they did the slow burn thing way too long.
Vague is good, but you have to do it at a moderate pace. Like you have to give the audience little bits to feed them. Otherwise, it's a letdown. Like they're there for a reason. They're there for a payoff.
Yeah, and they had this weird psychic connection thing going on where like somehow there were certain people that were psychically connected to the aliens.
What does that have to do with like the aliens though? That's a different type of magic. The point being,
that's my point.
Okay, let me explain that too, because in writing, one of the biggest faux pas you can do when you're writing is that if you're going for something, say you have vampires, if you bring in werewolves, you have a different type of magic. Otherwise, you have to create a world that can consist in, like Underworld, right?
Well, like if they
and it falls under that magic.
If the werewolves serve to drive the plot forward, then it makes sense.
But there's also a universe where they're in too, so it makes sense that they're there.
Right.
If it is extraterrestrial and it's alien based, should there be a supernatural base to it?
Well, that's what was weird about this.
They're breaking the rules of the writing.
I mean, which was fine. I don't mind that.
No, it's not, because unless they do enough to back it up.
That's my point. Right. Yeah.
And that's where it gets. I've worked on projects where it's like if you're not careful about the sources of magic, like it's this, but then there's this, which I think that's what bugged me about shows like American Horror Story. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm probably quoting it wrong. The one where they were in the asylum. I think it's American Horror Story Asylum. It was one thing, and then all of a sudden, I think aliens came in, and they lost me.
Really?
I couldn't do it. Just because
that's wacky.
It was weird. It was just like, don't break the rules of magic. Like it's tough because like you're going in one way, and then you're like, man, I want to introduce that, but if you're not careful, like now it's creating confusion. So I think the other thing you told me too was that the ending was just disappointing.
Well, yeah, the ending,
you got no payoff, right?
The ending of the latest season. So all right. So here's what a glutton for punishment I am. I watched 3 seasons of this show, which was terrible the entire time almost, and it had nothing to do with the acting because the acting was really good. It was the plot, writing. The story was so bad.
I wonder if I wonder if like it fell into the writing or if like producers and studio got into it too.
I wouldn't know. But here's the thing.
But if you're seeing it in the scenes, like in the performances, then it probably falls to the writing end or the whatever episode.
No, yeah, it was just the writing. It was the plot. It was so unrealistic, even for a sci-fi or a whatever you want to call it, sci-fi fantasy, whatever it is, flight of fancy. But the thing that was annoying about the ending was you get finally to the point where this guy who's a badass gets on the alien ship and you're like, oh, he's about to kick somebody's ass, right? He's about to beat something, right? Because the whole time,
and then what?
These aliens, there's not really any winning happening, right? It's just kind of, and there's this psychic kid that can like stop the aliens, right? And then there's like a prayer circle of these people that hold hands and meditate, and they make these aliens disintegrate.
Rules of magic,
which is dude. It was.
I'm a writer,
but anyway,
I had something.
But none of that's explained. None of that's explained. The connection they have, the blah blah blah, and they keep showing this UN president.
That's shitty writing.
They keep showing this woman who's like the president of the world, basically for the war against the aliens, right? And she has no clue. She has no freaking clue what's going on, right? And so she's like, what now? What's going to happen? So why is he doing that? I don't understand. The whole time they cut back to her and she's clueless. And you're just like,
every time.
Thank you. I'm as clueless as you are, ma'am. I don't know what's happening right now.
Instead of building like a strong female character, she's just like, she's
No,
mindless.
she was a good character, but it was just, she's
Okay.
constantly trying to figure out what the hell's going
I
on.
haven't seen it, so I don't know. But.
Dude, it was just bad.
Okay, but what hurts the most? You said the payoff?
Okay, so I went through 3 seasons of this show thinking, okay, at least if they get to the end and I can at least see how they defeat the aliens, I'll be happy.
That's why you sat in the seat.
How do they win?
That's why you sat in the seat. Because you wanted to see the
Yeah,
survival.
yeah.
You didn't want to see
And the end of the show is there's this kid that has this psychic ability kind of thing where he's able to teleport himself, not in physically, but mentally, into the alien ship. And there's another guy who goes through a portal. The badass guy with the gun goes into the portal, and he's physically on the alien ship. And the ghost kid appears to the other guy and says, "Come with me." Like he's going to take him to show him where the aliens are to go kill him. Right?
And
that's the end of the show.
But there's going to be like another season.
I think they are assuming too much.
Yeah. They're like, I mean, come on, we ended it like this. You have to give us one more. Because otherwise, okay.
I think they are assuming way more than they should have.
Which is dangerous because you don't know if you're going to get that.
Right.
And so you have to like play it smart. That's why, like, season 2 for the Netflix's Punisher. It's like, let's dance.
Yeah.
And doesn't go anywhere, but it's a nice, like, Frank Castle kind of ending.
You get to see that moment.
But that right there, if they cut at that point, you as an audience, if that was the last that you got to see, what they're forgetting is, like, you're there for the payoff. It's not for all the
They left me behind. Yes.
Right, so
the last ferry has left, and I'm on the shore going, what?
Kind of like Game of Thrones week ending of, like, just kind of wrapping it up. Like, you didn't get your Scooby-Doo reveal. Like, you didn't get them pulling the mask off of Mr. Johnson at the amusement park saying he would have gotten away with it wasn't for these damn kids.
Something.
It's Asia Shanks.
My greedy neighbor.
And by the way, I want to say one thing about Apple TV because that's the service that Invasion is on.
I heard they have a hell of a program.
Apple TV has the best programming of any service.
And you've
that
told
I
me
use.
that before.
Yes,
like they have the primo
by far.
I don't have them, so I can't.
Listen, if you're not doing it, if you don't have it now, you should get it. It's $7 a month. What I mean, come on, dude. That's like 2
probably
cups
better than Prime.
It's like 2 Starbucks.
Like I don't ship enough with Prime to say I should just be a Prime. Whatever. I should dump Prime and get Apple TV.
Okay. Yeah, you could.
But Prime is also very awesome.
I wasn't going to say anything.
There's that filmmaker disclaimer like, I'm so sorry, Prime.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Says the filmmaker who might actually distribute on Prime
Please
someday.
don't hate me at any point. Like I'm just here in the moment.
No, listen, we're going to keep it real.
I'm not deleting.
That's how it's going to be.
I'm not deleting into this. Like,
okay, good. Shouldn't. Want to move on to a new topic, but first I want to talk about a response we got to our last video from one of our viewers named John Weidenfeller. He says, as far as movies that terrified you, I really thought you were going to say Trilogy of Terror. But part of me was really hoping you would have said Bambi meets Godzilla.
Bambi meets Godzilla, 1969.
Yeah.
When I saw that comment, I was like, well, I know that. And I swear I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like probably like in the whatever earlier years, like YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But dude,
it's just so dumb.
It's a shot of Bambi and like this little animated, like it's so basic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going to happen with this?
Do you want to give it away? Well, we should tell everyone to watch it.
I want to watch. And actually, we're going to pull up a clip.
Okay.
Because it's
play
amazing.
the clip now, and then we'll talk about
Let's
it.
play the clip.
All right.
Bambi's working.
The credits are the funniest thing.
And then when the foot drops and the toes curl, and I'm like, that's genius. And from 1969, like how epic, like dude. I mean, it's just you can see the humor. Like there's like the Monty Python kind of vibe to it.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid watching it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably like 13 years old. And it was, I just remember watching it going, okay, yeah. Okay. What now? Baby, what is this?
But
Where's Godzilla?
But where did you find it though? Because there was no internet.
It was me and a friend rented a movie, and it was like at the front of that movie, there was like a short.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I don't even remember the movie.
That's cool though.
But yeah.
So like pre-Blockbuster days?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mom and pop video store. Yeah.
And this short was just like sitting in front of some film.
Yeah, yeah. But my memory of it is just sitting there and getting frustrated going, okay, yeah, where's Godzilla? And by the time, and this is so on purpose from the filmmaker, right? You're like, where's Godzilla? Where's Godzilla? And then you're like, oh, there's Godzilla.
but then special thanks to Tokyo for providing Godzilla. It's just a squish Bambi.
Oh my God.
The toenails curl in. It's classic. What about that
Greatness.
Trilogy of Terror thing though?
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
so
Because you brought it up earlier and I'm going to check it out now.
So he had a point. Trilogy of Terror was terrifying to me. I did see Trilogy of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to just, because of the demographic of the people who are probably going to watch this,
Right.
a lot of them may not have seen Trilogy of Terror.
We don't have to go that hard into it.
I would say watch Trilogy of Terror, but there's one, it's 3 short films,
Right.
and it's 3 short horror films.
I like anthologies.
Right? So, and it's made into one movie called Trilogy of Terror.
This is Amelia, Mom. I'm sorry I acted the way I did. I think we should spend the evening together just the way we planned. It's kind of late, though. Why don't you come by my place, and we'll go from here? No, I'm all right. Good. I'll be waiting for you. And it aired on TV, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it was ever in the movie theater. But the point is, there's this one story about a woman, I think it's a woman, who buys or brings home some kind of a tribal doll from Africa. It's like this little doll, this little dude, scary looking, weird looking dude. Well, the doll comes to life and starts trying to kill her.
Trope in itself. Like what time? What time period?
It's like 70s. Yeah.
So pre-Chucky.
Oh, way before.
And what's the other one with the little girl? Like the robot?
Oh, I don't remember the name of that.
Megan.
Is that the name
Yeah,
of it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was terrifying. It was a scary. I thought it was scary. I was a kid when I saw, like 12 when I saw it. And I don't want to give away the ending, but the ending is really scary.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm a horror fan anyway. I like to dig that in, check that out. But thank you, John
Weidenfeller.
thank you, John, for the comment.
Yeah.
And like,
It was pretty cool.
so keep that in mind too with our videos. Like if you comment on there and you throw a little bit in, we're probably going to check it out.
We might
I mean,
read it.
I didn't really, I mean, I swear that I've seen the Bambi meets Godzilla, but I could be wrong. But like as soon as you guys posted that and John, you had said that, I went to go check it out and I'm like, just another cool moment in my filmmaking. Like and then, hey, now we're sharing it. So
Yeah,
let's
for
keep
sure.
it rolling. So
Absolutely, man. So, so the other thing we're going to talk about tonight was the way that television has evolved over the years.
oh man.
Because we're kind of sticking on the topic of TV, right? And we were going to talk about, or I want us to talk a little bit about, if you
The difference in formats.
yeah, the way things were. Like I can remember in the 50s and 60s. I mean, I don't remember this, but I remember seeing shows from later.
Well,
right?
I watched a lot of Nick at Night with my dad. And
Okay.
there's like Mr. Ed. There's
Yeah.
like I Love Lucy, Green
Yeah.
Acres.
Like they were like 3 camera shows, right? Where you had
Right.
a set with cameras on set. So TV was sort of encapsulated in this different world than the movies, right? It was on sets at studios.
You got this process. You got the particular sets. Like with I Love Lucy, there's like the living room,
right.
basically, where like they would come in.
Well, there were multiple
the
sets, but-
neighbors. Yeah, but and that still applies to like still the modern shows that do that. But there's the primary set, kind of like Dick Van Dyke to Mary.
But that's happening less and less, right? Shows are being shot in that
WKRP.
way less and less than they used to be, right?
right. So
But it's interesting to me because back then, if you compared TV and movies were seen as, from an acting standpoint, as an actor, movies were seen as a much more prestigious activity than television. Television was seen as more simplistic and not as, if you weren't talented enough to be in the movies, you could always be on TV.
So I think the big breaking point, though, too, for TV, besides like NYPD Blue when they show the butt scene,
Dennis Franz. Yeah.
but 24 with
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, one of my favorite
Right.
actors too, like Young Guns, baby.
Captain of a deputized gang. Billy the Kid, huh?
The governor's put a $200 bounty on your head.
Ain't easy having pals.
One of my that's a Western, man.
I'm so glad to hear you say that.
With Young Guns, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm so glad to
Oh
hear you
shit,
say
dude!
that.
Like, no, like Young Guns. Like, I'm gonna make a Western one day. I had a dream about it, but Young Guns to me is like this. You have the classics, but then there's that, and that's a classic in its own self because we're old and all that jazz. But like, it's just a fun movie, man. And Kiefer Sutherland's a badass.
So what about Kiefer Sutherland though?
So look at 24, right?
Right.
Literally 24 is like the key word. They switched to, instead of doing 30 to 60 frames, now we're looking at like TV shows in a 23.976 frame rate.
Right. It's filmic.
And became
for
more
those of
real.
you watching at home, it's filmic.
Right.
So
30 is for regular TV, 60s for sports and
Yep.
stuff like this because we're going very live and like real time. So 24.
by the way, for the record, this show is shot in is in 60 frames.
60 glorious frames of input.
Yes.
But that shifted stuff, and then it became like, okay, here's the cinematic mode to it. So I think that was a big kind of kick in the medium like that. Like a lot of shows changed. So you go away from the days where we sat down and we were watching like Married with Children, totally episodic, canned cameras. Here's the living room that's pointing at the couch. here's the camera that's pointing at the kitchen table where like Peg and Al and the kids would sit there.
Exactly.
Here's the front door where Marcy was always coming in.
Yep.
And he was making his like chicken wing jokes and all that. And then what's the other example? Dinosaurs. Remember Not the Baby? Or not the mama.
It was, what was that show called?
Mama. Dinosaurs.
It was called Dinosaurs?
Yeah. So
I remember the show.
And you know it's an ultimate tragedy because what happens to the freaking dinosaurs?
A meteor hits and they all die.
Right. So you know that as an audience, so your payoff is like already guaranteed. Like it's not going to be a happy ending.
It's happy for the viewer though. I mean,
but in the long run though, for that
kidding.
show,
I don't know.
everybody was upset because they had that much time to build up to those characters to make them relatable, to make them connect, to make you feel. And so when that finale came, and you know that finale,
is that how they ended the show?
Yeah, the asteroid I think came and like it was it. They all
seriously
piece pop microdot. Yeah,
that's how it ended.
Yeah, it's the dinosaurs.
That's freaking dark.
They're freaking dinosaurs. Like, what's the outcome?
Yeah, but
they did no other outcome. They're not here with us now.
Yeah, but they didn't have to be here. They didn't have to be with.
But that's what it was.
We didn't have to follow them at the moment when the asteroid
even baby,
hit.
not the mama, not the mama, not the mama.
Good God.
Which that was one of those shows too. Like the family sat around the living room. I remember my mom loved the baby. Had the little toy that was like not the mama.
Oh my gosh.
But so that's a payoff though, in a way, because you know it's coming. It kind of plays in Alfred Hitchcock's like rule about lighting the fuse. You ever heard that?
Vaguely remember.
So like take the classic set of like here's this room and there's people playing poker at a table. You could show the people playing the poker table,
now.
like they're doing that, and then at the end, right before the bomb goes off, you show the bag underneath the table with the bomb.
It could be a totally ordinary scene, but once the fuse is lit, the whole scene changes and there's tension.
So if you put it at the beginning of it, you know, no matter what, there's tension. You know, things are going to go back for the people in the room that you're caring about.
Right.
So with dinosaurs, we love the baby. We love Robbie the teenager. I think Robbie.
I don't even remember.
Oh, I love that show.
I really didn't watch it.
And there's Mr. Sinclair, like the boss. But we had the time bomb in the beginning because they're dinosaurs.
Right.
So
well, but
catastrophic.
But as far as the way TV has evolved, you go from primarily having these shows that are shot on sets, 3 camera.
Right.
There were some 1 camera shows that were, but they were still shot in an enclosed location or something. It wasn't. And then you had other shows like Dallas and, dramas, Dynasty, blah, 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 that were shot but they were shot more like a soap opera. Now, like you said, when you had Jack Bauer in 24, it's like you're watching a long movie, right? It's different. There's just, you can tell there's a difference in the way that the story is progressing, the way that characters are being portrayed, the way that the film is being, or that the movie's being shot, the quality of the movie is more filmic. I said a couple of episodes ago that I'm really drawn to sci-fi, right? That's my big thing that I love. And I mean, the best episodic television that I ever saw in the sci-fi genre was on Amazon. It was The Expanse.
What was that?
Amazon?
No, the show.
The Expanse.
I'm not hearing it right. I swear you were saying Quantum Leap.
Okay. All right.
Did you say Quantum Leap?
All right. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I thought you said Quantum Leap. I'm sorry.
Listen. Nobody knows more than I do about Leap. Okay? Don't even go there.
I can't compete with you.
Bro.
I can't. Even though I love the shit out of Quantum Leap, I can't compete with you.
Listen. I was watching Leap when there was no way to record other than a VCR, and I didn't own a VCR. So guess what I did? I had to be at home to watch Leap with my roommate. Him and me, you know who you are, my roommate from those days. We would watch Leap every... What was it, Thursday night?
So do you want to walk back your statement about
Must-see
the best?
TV. What?
Do you want to walk back your statement about the best show?
No. But Quantum Leap was great.
Quantum Leap was good.
I mean, God, who doesn't love Scott Bakula?
Death is a doorway. We shed one skin and put on another. and leap. Of course it's me. You think I'm gonna let you go through this alone? Now look at me. You're the big city man. You figure it out.
Al, I used to be a doctor. I can't help him die.
I bled him till the snow turned red. He looked like you.
What is wrong with me? I spend half the time saying I'm sorry and the rest of the time cleaning up my mistakes.
Anyway,
where are we at now in time?
We're done. We're done.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought we could go further.
We've been going well over an hour. We've been going like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my God. We're going 88 miles an hour.
Okay. We're about to go back to the future? Is that what we're about to do? Oh,
What say you, crowd? What would you like us to talk about next time?
Yeah. Comment in the comments below, man.
Throw it down there.
What do you want to see us talk about?
We could ramble on forever about anything, but like, what would you like?
Yeah. In fact, we did in this episode. I mean, like, I honestly, we had an agenda, but we didn't really stick to it.
I mean,
that's what makes this interesting.
But the main thing is giving a little honor to the late and great Carl Weathers.
Amen.
Like the biggest, like a real huge piece of our childhood, action films.
Yep.
You know, rest in peace.
Amen. All right. Well, on that note,
I guess that's it. Is it it?
We're done.
Is that it? Episode 3? Moving on to episode 4 next time?
I think so. If I can count, yes.
All we're missing is maybe like a big red button.
We don't have one yet, but yes.
I'm just saying. All right, well.
Let's go get a drink.
Hello.
Yep. Empty glasses. What was that?
Because we need more.
Oh, okay. All right.
So anyway, I was thinking.
That's pretty good.
What if
yeah,
we could develop a time machine to go back to the days of the dinosaurs, just to imagine if there was something about something in hot dogs?